You get people who are spending money every week, and they are milking them.
Yeah, no.
They're riding. They're putting a saddle on the back and riding them.
No, that's unacceptable, man.
No, it doesn't. Not week after week.
No, not at all.
It's just like having leeches bleeding you dry.
That's right.
Or them fish where you put your feet in and they clean your feet. But they don't even clean your feet, they just swim around them.
That's right, yeah. All right. Random stream. Yeah, Aston. Get on Discord, buddy. We're gonna just get to it. There's no intro tonight. We're just getting to it. We got Chance. We got Mr. Speakerface, the world renowned artist over here.
Oh no, don't stop that.
But we're having some great conversations. I don't know if anybody out there caught the house and the Chance and House stream, but they had some connectivity issues. But we're gonna continue the show. It is a late night stream technically for me, but either way, yeah, we got Ian Gura. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. And again, we're gonna continue with the polls. I'm gonna think of some random questions. We'll get there. We got a bunch of stuff.
I don't think House's managed the transition.
Someone should get him over here. Let's see, where is he at? Is he still over there?
I said we've got to change over. We've got to go over to Churro's server now.
Yeah. Hold on. I
And
see
he's
Rage Occasion
right.
House. Oh, yeah, hold on. Stay right there. Stay right there. Hey,
Bling.
what are you guys doing? I'm live. Let's go. Come on, get on my server.
What up, Churro?
Hey, hop onto my server, dude. I'm live right now. Let's go.
Oh, we're doing it on your stream?
Yeah, let's go. I'm over there. I'll see you guys over there.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
There we go. Okay, we're getting the party started over here. Okay, let's see. All right, guys, let's get in game. We're gonna get the party started. Rage Occasion and House should be transferring over soon. Let's see. Where we at? Boom, boom. Ah, I love it when everything's working. Okay, here we go. Alliance War. Ruler of TUBONDO. Here's the thumbnail. Skills breakdown. Nothing has changed. It's the same. Prestige breakdown. It's weird. Relics.
Raging's here now.
There we go.
Hey, we got the game. Dude, we are the like 4 people you see in your Discord there. We're like consistently online with you guys.
Yeah, dude, it's good, man. It's a good set cast, as I like to say, of people. You know,
A good cast. Oh, that's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it adds a good show for everybody. You know what I mean? That's the purpose. We want to make sure everybody's got some stuff to listen to and everything. You know. So.
Oh, I got some stuff to say today, though. I have some good karma happened to my team today.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I found 22 players that doesn't have a leader, and their so-called leader told me that she was just managing this hodgepodge bunch of junior players, and I'm like, well, I got room for you.
Nice. Okay.
I want to talk about it. I want to tell the story on stream so that people can relate to it.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna hold off.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you. I think maybe I mean, I don't know where this took place, but if we can just be very vague with description of players and teams, that way we can just kind of the messages. Coordination.
I'm not gonna call names and stuff like that. It's just gonna be a what happened today kind of story.
Right on,
you know.
Right on.
But it's a good story, and it's very relatable to what's going on in the community right now. I mean, there's a lot of teams moving and breaking and splitting and merging and this and that. There's a lot of that going on recently. A lot.
Yeah, this is true.
And this is part of that. Dude, this team that I found, they're all like level 12, 15 junior players. And they're in the fucking, they're in my server. And they have a shell in my server as well. I was like, you guys are fucking well organized for a bunch of misfits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Well,
it's basically a bunch of players that want to be where we are, you know, the upper leagues, but they just don't have the experience. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that you can be a new player in this game and know how to coordinate, but you also have to kind of actually play the game to understand how to just function, you know? So
yeah, well, it's just like I'll be honest with you, bro, I haven't had time to do the Marvel game yet, but once I do, I'm diving in. Okay. No, and I'll be playing with you guys.
On the same page as you. With time is not on my side right now.
Yeah, I just haven't had time to take on another game, man. And
there's not many souls collecting this one, aren't there? So how you can play another game and you got collect all them.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, Dawn of Titans is eating up all my fucking time. Well, I also have to manage a team, so I have that responsibility, you know.
Yeah.
If I wasn't Crown, I could just say, "Oh, I'm just going to rest this week and do another game," you know. But I don't have that luxury right now. I have 27 players now, and over the last month, I've acquired 9 senior players independently, like 1Z, 2Z kind of things. They just kind of showed up or got invited or whatever.
Honestly, bro, it's exciting to hear this. You know, to hear you. It doesn't seem like the whole recruitment thing is consuming your time. It's just an ongoing project that seems like it's going well, dude. So,
well, you don't want to. Well, what I'm doing today, and I'm in negotiations right now, and I don't know what fucking time zone these persons are in. So they went silent on me. So I think they're sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on a response from their so-called leader, who hinted to merge. And I'm like, and what I mean by merge, I've been approached by, I want to do this on live stream.
You're live now.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I asked you earlier. I think it would be just what's the word? Let's not name alliances and people. So
yeah,
you know that's
right.
Request out of this discussion.
We've been live from the get.
And you know what? That's fair, because you want it to be generic so that there's
Here's the thing. I mean, I think, you know, let's be very transparent.
Talk about the topic, not the people.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's the topic that's more essential, and there's going to be a lot of, and I'm crossing my fingers that this is going to reach out to a broader range of people that can find that more relatable. They're not, you know, and the thing is, look, dude, my favorite thing is you know, still many years into this game, still occasionally bump into the newer player who's pretty excited, and kind of
Yeah.
feed them the information or the options that, hey, it's gonna be a grind, dude, but it's a damn good community. We take care of each other. We still have fun. We talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fucking crazy humor. And sometimes the game is fucked up, but dude, it's a fun time, you know. So,
And you know what? To be honest with you, I've played this game. I cannot recall a day. I joined this game August of last year during the pandemic, right?
You've been on every day since.
I have been logged in every day since.
Yeah.
Thank you, speaker. And I'm like,
I've been on every day since.
there has never been a game. There's never been an online game. I play Dungeons and Dragons online on my computer,
ooh, okay,
right?
okay.
I haven't logged into that game in 2 years.
Wow.
I'm still subscribed. I pay $100 a year for that subscription, right?
Yeah.
What a waste. But I want to keep my account because I spent like 4 years playing that game online. And it's an awesome game, and they're constantly updating it. I mean, if I dive into that one, I will lose some Dawn of Titans time for sure. So I'm,
in chat.
but I got that one on the back burner right now. Anyway, we were talking about alliances, and there's a lot of I've noticed a lot of movement lately, you know, between, you know, family groups and alliances and independent players and recruiting, and there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. There's a lot of movement, lots of movement.
They're cleaning out the attic, getting rid of the driftwood or deadwood.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have a level 14 player who I call it my Padawan player. I told him, I was like, dude, I'm not going to kick you because your mom took your iPhone away. Obviously, it's a teenager, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not your fault. So I've been carrying this player for a couple of weeks now. He only logs in once a month because he has an old iPad that he secretly logs into the game without his mom knowing it. And I'm like, oh, you little devil, you.
Yeah.
So he logs in once a week, and he doesn't do the minimums, but I gave him a pass on that. I was like, you're a low-level player. I don't care. I'll carry your, you know, I don't want you to fall out of the game because your mom, you know, punished you. And I don't know the intricacies of that, and that's his problem. He's got to deal with that.
Right, exactly.
But I'm not going to kick him out of my team because his mom took his freaking phone away. So anyway,
But also, you got what is your being catfish.
that leads into my story here. So I was in the red zone in my server, and we're on Masters. Yeah, we're in Masters, I think. Yeah, I forget what league we're in. The one below Legends, that's Masters, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're in Masters, and we did a 90-minute delay for the login, and we wound up getting a crappy ass server.
Good luck with that.
No, well, it's not a crappy server. It's a good server. It's just that it's almost like Legends, where there's no VP available. It's kind of like Legends, you know, where everybody's really tight on their VP. So we're in Masters, right? And the R1 team has they have 500 million VP. 500 million. I'm like, yeah, my team can't even come close to that. Okay. So that is not an achievable goal.
Wait.
To get to...
They
What
can't
were you
get
gonna
to how
say?
much? Are you saying 500,000?
No,
No
half a
VP?
trillion.
Oh,
Half trillion.
yeah.
500 million VP is R1 right now. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of farming, bro. That's a
No,
trick.
that's a power team right there. That means every person in that team, all 50 players, are grinding.
Well, yes, you're right, yes. But on top of that, though, they are also farming VP, so it's kind of like a two-way thing. They are grinding, and
They're not farming that much because I've been raiding them and they don't. The VP is not very prevalent in my server right now. Like you go there, you have to hunt. You have to hunt for VP. I've been hitting 7K. I've been hitting 7K, 10K VP just because that's all that's available right now.
Because you'll be
There's something
collecting
fishy
every
going on in that
45
case. Then.
minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all
I
have
don't
the
know.
timers set.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they're doing, but those fuckers have half a trillion VP. And I'm like, yeah, my team can't compete with that. Anyway, so that leads into my story. Okay. So my Padawan learner, right? I tried to find him. I told him I was like, oh, I'm gonna carry you, blah blah blah, right? And I found I went to the red zone because I always go to the red zone for my daily castle hit or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And I also go down there and see what's going on down there because you'll find nuggets. You'll find like a 20K VP that nobody touched down in the red zone because nobody goes down there, right? So that's why I go down there and look around. So when I was down there, I saw this one group and it's all minis. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, and they're all low-level castles. And I'm like, whoa, this is cool. And then I saw 2 minis that were unprotected. So I took both of them from 2 different players, right?
Yeah.
And it's like unguarded territory is free game, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of them attacked it because the first guy I took from attacked it and he bubbled it. The second guy recapped it, took it back. And I looked at his castle level 9. I'm like, I'm not even gonna fuck with this guy. Because it's not even a fair contest, right?
No.
So I didn't do anything. I didn't complain. So here's what I did. Those 2 players, I was like, hey, you want to trade? You are low-level players. I'll give you my level 22 VP lands if you give me some minis, right? Yeah. I was like, fair trade. Well, neither one of them responded. Huh. So I texted their crown because there's half a dozen, maybe a dozen players in this little circle here. So I texted the crown. The crown responded and gave me 2 mini lands immediately. And I'm like, what? This is like very nice. I was like, thank you very much. And sorry, changing headphones. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So their crown responded to me and gave me a gift. And I'm like, wow, that rarely happens in this game. Somebody just offering something. Well, guess what happened?
Them guys pinched them back off you.
No. I don't. Hey, the crown of the minis is also the crown of a team, also on the server. I didn't know this,
Yeah.
and they have war in their name, and they're not really a war team. There's no way they're a war team, but the level of players that they are, no, they're like level 12, 15, 9. Anyway, so we started conversations, and that crown from this mini team, which was just a shell in the red zone, also has 22 players. They're all low level players. They're all 15 and below. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're a collective of players who want to play the game, who just don't have any direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They don't have, and their leader told me, I'm not the leader. We don't have a leader. And I'm like, ooh.
He's just babysitting.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh.
Wait, how did that? Well, did they explain how that happened though? Because this is an interesting story where it seems like they're just a leaderless,
They're a leaderless group. They're a leaderless alliance who are looking to play the game.
Wow.
This is indicative of what's happening down in Gold League and all the other lower leagues. That's why I make it a point every couple of months, let's go down to Gold League and move our way back up.
Yeah. Totally.
Because along the way, you're going to pick up players who are dedicated to the game, who really love the game, and they're the next generation of Dawn of Titans.
Just imagine,
players.
Though, unfortunately, like how much neglect those lower leagues have received, not just by the
my God, dude.
the mass of players that are in active teams, but as the developers
but
as well.
This little collective that I ran into, and it was just a happenstance. Yeah. I basically capped some minis because they were and that was nice, dude. I was half tempted to just fill my bucket, so to speak, with all of their minis and just steal them, because in the red zone, it's the red zone. Who cares, right?
Right.
I was gonna do that, but I didn't want to be a dick, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I didn't, and it turned out that was a wise choice, because now those 22 players, there's only last chat I had with the so-called leader is they have 4 players to contact, and then they're going to join my alliance. I'm getting 22 players.
Damn. So that sets you up at 45 or 46ish?
Yeah, something like that.
Dude, that's an entire alliance right there, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And they're leaderless, which means they're all new players, which means they're moldable.
Right.
And we can teach them, hey, this is how you cap a land. This is, the intricacies of the game.
And they're active.
And because they're low-level players, they're going to eventually be level 20 castle.
Right.
They're going to go from level 10 to level 20 castle in the next couple of months. Yes, this is going to take some time.
Yeah.
But they're going to be dedicated. Mm-hmm. They're going to be dedicated and loyal to the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that is like I've had offers from numerous other crowns saying, hey, let's merge our blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, but you want me to lose my name? You want me to lose my team name? My team doesn't want to lose their name.
Yeah.
It's their identity. I can't do that. I really consciously can't do that, because we built ourselves off of being independent. And yeah, right now we're part of a larger family, but loosely affiliated, if you will.
Right. Right.
And because when you become part of a big alliance or bigger alliance with a whole bunch of teams, and it's a family thing, and you got your tag on your name and all that jazz, that's fine. I mean, if you're cool with that, that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of big alliances out there that have multiple families,
Yeah.
not families, multiple teams on the same family.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just human nature aspect of it,
Yeah. I'm glad that you're bringing this up. It's interesting because I thought we were already live for an hour, but it's just been a long day. But to have this conversation within the first 25 minutes of the stream is fantastic, because this is a topic that needs attention, similar to the topic that we had last night, which was the maps and stuff. We are in a situation where the game there's a lot of stuff going on. The map,
there's a lot of movement going on right now.
Exactly, there's a lot of movement. Garrison maps and purchasing them is a need, a very important need that needs to happen. And developers, I hope that you guys understand that it's very important that you guys put that out there for sale. Whatever standard maps you guys have established for garrisons, which I think are maybe 25 of them, because they change as you level up, from what I assume, then those should be put up for sale. 2,000 divine gems, 1,500, 1,000. That range I think is fair. And guess what? The Titan will be more effective, and we will be more encouraged to participate in events if those things are offered, because we're going to need to gather divine gems, and we could at least hit mins. That's one thing. We're going to stop there. But the other thing is this.
Yeah.
As this game is 5 years old this year, and unfortunately the tail end of this game, I feel, is where we're at. I don't think it's going to die anytime soon. I think it still has a lot of time left in it. Has gotten a lot of neglect, unfortunately. However, people are still downloading this game. There's no promotion for it. There's no, there's not a lot of a hype or anything. This is a very underground game, and unless you are a real gamer, you're not gonna find this game, dude. There's no promotion to it. Even it's getting to the point where now I'm trying to find ways so that the title of my video is easy to find, so that people get introduced to this game, just to kind of bring some new wave of people in there. Anyway, the point being.
By the way, also, I like your idea of polls. You're the only one doing poll.
Yeah.
That is a very, very good subject to tap into, because you're getting the opinion of players, actual players.
Right.
And the devs can glean off of that and take it for what it's worth, saying, hey, yeah, we had 20 participants in this live stream, and half of them decided this or that or whatever.
Right.
And they're all active players, so they're active players.
Exactly. Active players are going to actually join the live stream.
Yeah.
That's what I am. I'm an active player. I play I hate to say this, 15 hours a day on this stupid game.
It happens, bro. There's no need to fucking worry about that, though.
Well, because I can speed raid while I'm at work.
Right.
Click, go. Click, go. Click, go.
Yeah.
And I can do my job and click my phone every so often and raid, and that's how I do it.
Yeah.
But
but going back to the topic at hand right now, there's a couple things that this whole thing of, okay, this is a real thing. There's a lot of movement. I feel, and I think it's fair to say that we are all on the same page right now. And where the game is, there is heavy burnout because of the Nexus event. That's how I specifically think. It was a very.
I think you're right.
It's a very. It was a very demanding event. People that paid, people that had a hybrid of half grind, half pay, or whatever that percentage could be, and then people that ground the event. I'm talking about you went in with whatever you had as gems and whatever you had as saved tokens and whatever time, and you sat there and you did the same fucking thing seconds after seconds after seconds for hours on end. And then whatever the game, or excuse me, whatever the
that was a huge
offered,
I think the Nexus event was huge.
Yeah, and whatever the event offered maybe took off some of that grind time. But, you know, the point is, you know, I found it fair that for the 4 consecutive events afterwards, this 40,000 soul event Titan, with that specific, you know, cost to get that Titan, was the 1.5 that made it. I think that was fair.
Yeah.
I think that what, you know, I think the fact that they added multiple.
You mentioned this before. Yeah.
You know, I think that the fact that they added, you know, event tokens, plenty of portal stones, plenty of gems. It was just a matter of actually sitting down and putting in the work. Anyway, the point is, the burnout is real. A lot of people need a break. This is the unfortunate thing, right? You're burnt out. You have about a 5-week window to take advantage of this, you know, top apex attacker. But if you are resting to kind of recover from this, you know, hangover state, guess what? You probably didn't enjoy that Titan for those 5 weeks where it was a top Titan. And now you're going to come back in to get the top defender, and now you're struggling to actually win. So the thing is that it's that was too gnarly.
It was.
I think, and so anyway, we, you know, trying to get back to the focus, you know, so we have all this kind of stuff. Burnout is real. I, you know, there's a lot of activity that is extremely underestimated, what's the word? Unmotivated and ignored, which is a lot of potential of players within the lower leagues that miss out on this stuff. The thing is, it's crazy to me to think that there's players down there that probably don't know.
I agree with you.
They don't know what
because
the database is. They don't know who's
They're
streaming.
basically ignorant to the game. They're ignorant to the potential of the game.
Right.
Whereas people pick the events they want to do. There, they have to do 4 and a trot or whatever. And it's too much for some people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they have to do more than they normally do. And it burns them out. So they're thinking, I need a rest.
I cannot believe that this team of 22 players, not one of them is above level 15.
Yeah, bro, that's a very special thing, bro. That's gonna be a solid team.
They made their way to Masters League.
Yeah.
And they're
crazy.
They're very low level castles. I'm like, how in the hell did they pull that off? They must have grinded their asses off.
And stuck together.
Which tells me a lot about the team itself. And I looked at their statistics. There's only one player that hasn't logged in 2 days. The rest of them has logged in the last couple of hours.
Wow.
And I'm like, ooh. So I think I found a diamond in the rough here. And instead of taking the offers of other crowns that say, hey, let's do a merger, blah, blah, blah. And they all have senior players and all that, and that's fine. And that would be a good thing. However, that's not the direction I think my team is going in. I think I'm going to scoop up this 22 players here, junior players, and over the course of the next 6 months, they're going to develop and learn the game because we're going to teach them. We started out as a training team, okay? And then we broke away because, long story short, that is our motive, is training team. we pretend to be in a war, and instead of capping everyone in an alliance, we'll swarm them and just go and bubble everything, because it doesn't cause a war. Does that make sense? I call it practice war.
Yeah.
We practice our tactics, but we don't cap the lands. We just bubble them. We just
I see what you
raid
mean.
them.
Yeah. It's kind of like
we do that. We do that about once a week. And my team has taken in. I have a lot of free-to-play players on my team, and they sometimes outperform the pay-to-play players. They're that good because they're dedicated. They have what do you call it? Passion for the game.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
So
yeah.
So me moving my team up to Legends and merging with a Legends team doesn't make sense, because most of the time it's war up there. Okay.
Right.
Let's face it. It's Legends is where you want to go if you want to practice war. Okay. And going up there with junior players does not make sense at all, because they're going to be a target. They're going to be bubbled and balled the entire week. And that's going to be, you don't take anyone to Legends if they're under level 20 castle, because you're just going to be persecuted, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's a fact. If you go to Legends, you go there to, be aggressive, and there's aggressive teams up there, and I understand that. That's where the, big dick players are, as Churro would say.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But I mean, seriously. So I guess my point is, you don't take junior players under level 20 to Legends. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. They're going to get disgruntled and leave the game.
Right.
That's my point. You don't want that to happen. Mm-hmm. So you stay in Masters, or you stay in Champions. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move my team. I'm going to create another shell and move my team down to Champions if I absorb all of these 22 junior players, because there's no way I'm going to have them deal with the hassles of senior playing as a junior player. They have to learn first, and then we can move up. Does that make sense?
No, you're right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I cannot believe I've been handed this golden nugget of players, junior players, by the way, that we can develop to be long-term Dawn of Titan players. Yeah, it's like the next generation is going to happen right now, bro. That's the way I look at it.
That's good, though, bro. I mean, the thing is that you naturally do have those leadership skills, so you know how to get the most out of people, which is good.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that you are where you got good resources too. You know where the streams are at. You've established yourself. Is what I'm trying to say. So, and that's just gonna benefit your team. And then at the same time, honestly, bro, that's a crazy story. To be honest with you, it's pretty gnarly. Like to hear that you found that many players, and the thing that makes this game happen is
I can't turn it down. I can't turn it down, dude.
Yeah,
I have to.
Right, absolutely.
I have to jump at it, and
yeah.
And it's an opportunity. Wild. It's an opportunity to bring 22 players into the fold, and yeah, you're gonna lose onesie twosies because of their personal life, blah blah blah, and they got to drop out of the game. Okay, fine. We're gonna lose through attrition, maybe 5%.
Right.
Okay. 1 to 3 players, I might lose. Okay, but that's okay. What I'm doing is I'm giving them the opportunity to elevate them and accelerate their learning like 100-fold. Because if they just sit there as they are now, it's going to take them a year to learn the game.
Yeah.
If I absorb them, it's going to take me a month and I'll have a war team. Yeah, they're going to be low-level players, but right now, I'm in the dude. Nobody. I haven't even hit 3K on the event because that's my minimum for the team. I haven't even hit that yet. I'm like 500 souls away from hitting it. I just been straight grinding it because I'm like, I'm not using any resources in this game for this tournament, and my entire team is the same way. We're all like trudging along, trying to get 3K because that's the minimum, but 3K is totally doable by a free-to-play player. My minimums are always geared to consider the free-to-play players. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I go on a calculator.
Right.
I go on a calculator and I do the numbers, and I'm like, yeah, a free-to-play player can do this. Because as soon as you exceed, as soon as a crown puts out, oh, we got to do 10K minimum for this event. Well, you just lost all your free-to-play players because you just put a goal that they cannot achieve.
Right.
So you have to consider your free-to-play players, because I have a bunch on my team. And, dude, these guys are free-to-play, and they outperform a lot of the pay-to-play players. And
yeah, I'm not surprised. That happens, man.
I'm so proud of them. And and by the way, in my team, if you want to be an officer, your performance and team engagement are 2 key factors that are required to get a star.
Yeah.
And
you gotta lead by example.
Yep. And they have to engage, they have to engage with the people as well as perform. You have to meet the minimums or exceed them.
Now,
and
here's one thing I have to ask though, like when you say engage with the people, like what do you mean though? Because there's one thing where it's like, okay, you got a star, that means there's something about you and you can get the numbers. But like that's a specific detail.
I require my officers to take the lead. If they're the only one online, then they're the boss in my stead. Does that if I'm sleeping and they're online, then they make the decisions for me. And I respect their decisions because they know what I'm like and they know what I would do, and they make the decisions accordingly. Like a shave order.
Right.
Usually only the crown does that. Hey, shave this guy. I delegated that to my officers, saying, here's the conditions to shave someone. Right?
Yeah.
And they know when to do it and not to do it. A lot of times you let it go. Oh, guy capped my bonus VP, non-bonus VP, and normally in the upper leagues, you would shave someone for that. In the lower leagues, champions and below, you don't necessarily have to shave someone for that. You just have to text them and talk to them. And these guys actually do that. They'll talk to the crown. They'll talk to the player. My officers are well developed and well disciplined to don't arbitrarily start a war because my team's been in war a bunch of times, and I've started a bunch of them, to be honest with you. But but let me tell you something. The performance that they've had is outstanding.
Yeah.
Because I entrust my officers with the responsibility of, hey, if you're the only one online, you're leading the team. So you post VP lands, they post targets all the time. Everybody does it. You know how some teams have a scout that's all they do is post, everyone on my team does it.
That's good.
Because when I'm grinding with, let's say I'm leveling up a Titan, there's certain prestige Titans I can't hit, but the VP looks really good, right? But I'm leveling up a Titan, I'm only level 41, I can't hit a prestige Titan. So what do? I post it, and my teammates get it.
There you go. I mean,
we all do that. I mean, that's very commonplace in my team. Mm-hmm. If you can't hit it, post it, and somebody else will hit it.
Right, and that's the thing. Yeah, and I think that's one thing too that was very discouraging for me, was thinking that I had to do everything, and that's not how it goes. There's, I'm not the best garrison hitter. There are other players that are far superior. Yeah. However, my style is I could quickly, either raid or capture lands. So that's where I can perform sometimes, or at least make an impact in the team. So
exactly.
So for everybody listening out there, the purpose of this conversation is to really let you guys know that there's a lot of good activity going on. People are finding new teams. People are taking a break. Blah 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 blah. It's very important to understand though that the number one thing in this game is a team and it being coordinated, so that you can avoid burnout. And regardless, this game does a good job of putting out content so that it keeps us active, because there are certain events that, regardless of if we are burnt out, we have to do, because either it's a Titan, but even more so a relic that is going to really, really enhance a lot of the collection of Titans that you have. And it happens, man. It happens, and it's not a rare thing. So the one thing I want to emphasize though is that I'm stoked for your experience. I think that's a number one. That's definitely one of the rarest experiences I've seen, or heard of, when it comes to being able to merge teams and really honestly build the team in the game, because normally it's whoever knows anybody is what's going to get you in, and it's like that's unfortunate, because again, if the rewards were greater in the lower leagues, then I think more attention would be brought to them. But it's not. It's all about
you mentioned that. You mentioned that before, and I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
If the incentive is there, just a little bit. I mean, just bump it up on one notch would be totally great.
Yeah. Here's what they need to do. Developers, it's still within the first hour of the stream, but the number one thing you guys need to do, obviously we've talked about it. We need the map, and whatever. We've talked about teams moving, but divine gems need to be a reward on the top 3 teams across all leagues, regardless whatever it is. And all it's
even if it's number one,
exactly. Even if it is at least first place, Gold League, they should at least be getting 100 divine gems. Just imagine just imagine again. This is digital currency. You don't lose anything in giving that. You're only gonna have who knows how many servers it is.
Exactly. It doesn't cost them anything to do this.
It doesn't cost you guys a fucking cent. It's invisible, electronical, digital currency. And it's a fucking high.
Exactly.
You get that high, I will spend money. I just, again...
And other players will follow. And other players will follow.
But again, imagine if from gold... Let's just, for the sake of this conversation, let's say from gold league and up, the reward for first place starts at 100 divine gems. And then it just builds up by 25. Well, maybe not. Let's say 75, and then it builds up by, I don't know, 20. That is a huge improvement right there, because now you have teams trying to figure out how do we build a team.
Incentivized.
Exactly.
They have an incentive.
And if there are bigger teams up in the Legends and Masters, they will have to and they will have maybe some inactive players. They're going to have to force them down to the lower leagues, and people are going to want to join those things, and that's going to expand those branches of that family.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And all
it's going to cause competition, which is the basis of the game.
Right, exactly.
And then the whole basis of this game is competition.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So
and we as a community have made our own competition despite the devs, and we have figured out how to make this game competitive by, unwritten rules.
Right.
You don't cap a non-VP land. Unwritten rule. There's a lot of examples of that, of the rules that we have as a community have created for the game. It's not law, it's just good gameplay. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it totally does. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and each champions, masters, legends have different rules as far as capping and gameplay. Do you go to war because somebody capped your garrison? Well, it depends on what league you're in.
Yeah, there you go.
It really does. If you're in Legends, yeah, you cap my lands, you cap my castle, I'm going to hit you back. Whereas if you go down further in the lower leagues, first you chat them up. Hey, dude, I did this actually yesterday. I'm like, dude, why'd you hit my castle twice and green it?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you had an Oceanus and I was trying to see if I could defeat it. I'm like, oh, okay, next time text me, And I wound up being friends with this guy. And by the way, this led into, because there are 5 and my team is now or 8 or 9, something like that. So they're in the green zone, right? It's a green zone team. And nobody's going to catch them. They have enough VP. But the point of the story is, I chatted with this guy instead of just straight out attacking him. Okay. Winds up, he's a Marine veteran. I'm a Navy veteran. I was like, oh, so we have that connection, So you meet people along the way, is my point. And lo and behold, he suggested, or one of his teammates suggested, which is a very good tactic, by the way, that a lot of people haven't considered. the server we're on, if your VP lands go into bonus, they're freaking gone.
Right.
Gone.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Immediately. We're a step below legends. So yeah, they're gonna cap your stuff. Anyway, with that said, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. We have the same problem. Everybody has the same problem. Every team in the server is getting capped as soon as your stuff goes to bonus.
I mean, yeah, it's the name of the game.
So I contacted his crown. I have an agreement. My team is like R9, I think, and their team is R5. We have an agreement to keep each other's VP lands bubbled so nobody can cap them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a different tactic, and I've been doing my part. Like twice a day, I go and bubble all of their VP lands, and I get, VP from it. Some of it's big, some of it's small. Most of it's about 10, 12K. What we're doing is we're bubbling each other so that the other teams in the league, in the server, cannot cap them because they're bubbled.
Interesting.
It's an interesting tactic. I've never tried this before.
Yeah.
However, I think my team is outperforming his team because I keep them bubbled left and right. And over the last 24 hours, I've lost all of my VP lands due to capping because nobody bubbled them. And I'm like, you're not holding up your end of the bargain.
Yeah. Well, then you give them a day, bro. If it still continues like that,
but
then they start capping their shit.
Listen, I don't care. I don't care because lands can be replaced on a minute basis. You can go pull new lands anytime you want. Come on.
Yeah.
The devs have reduced the cost of pulling lands to the point where if you do a little bit of grinding on some gold lands, you can get enough gold to go and click that button and boom, I got new lands. I think that was a huge benefit to the players when the devs did that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So basically replenishing your lands doesn't cost as much. 1 million gold, you can grind that in like 20 minutes,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, man.
So
definitely been it's been a good good breakdown. There's a lot of activity, a lot of movement. I think it's been for the best just to get a lot of these teams maybe a fresh start, maybe a well-deserved break from a lot of the demand of the game at its current state. But you know what though, it's a unique situation that you find yourself in, and I'm pretty excited for you, and I hope that a lot of your players will definitely stick around. I mean, I'm sure they'll stick around, bro. I mean, if they made it the way they did, this is just going to be more of a reason to stick around because they're going to have a great time being able.
Oh, I have high confidence in this, guys. And normally, if I was in, let's say I was in Elite or Gold League or one of the lower leagues, and I got approached by their so-called team lead, and they were like, "Hey, we want to merge with you." I mean, like, no. But since they made their way all the way to Masters League, and then now, I mean, as a team, they made their way all the way to Masters League, and not one of them, well, I can't say that. Most of them are level 15 and below.
Yeah, that's
Castle
pretty
level.
crazy.
And I'm like, that is impressive. That shows drive, determination, dedication to the game. And I'm like, I want these players. I really want these players. Because
Definitely.
when they become, castle level 20, they're going to be potent. They're going to be very potent in this game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. There's
I call it the diamond in the rough, my friend,
there you
because
go, man.
I stumbled across them by, capping their mini lands, and I'm like, and by the way, since I've been capped numerous times, and I can't keep my VPs, I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with VP right now. Lands, that is. I went to minis, and they're supplying me with minis. I'm like, I was like, wow, you hooked me in. You hooked me in. Okay, so guess what? If I have a bunch of low-level players, I'm going to instruct them, load your lands. They're going to be minis as far as anyone else is concerned, and they're not going to take them per se unless they're offended. But we're going to become a team of a whole bunch of minis.
There you go.
And then if we move up, and if we're in champions or masters, teams are going to love that. They're going to be like, oh, I can finish the event because this team has a whole bunch of minis. So it's a dual benefit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone benefits from this. And that's what I'm looking at.
Right on. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be a benefit. Definitely going to be a benefit. And, it'll definitely be a long-term project, that's for sure. I definitely want to start switching things up a little bit right now. And I'm going to...
Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah. But we definitely had a great conversation in regards to, there's a lot of hidden talent out there. And we definitely want to, get those teams
tap into it,
placed in there. So hopefully there'll be some recruitment. I think it's just going to be, it's just another wave of players. The games get promoted and pushed based on what people are doing. So we'll see. But so far so good. Everything's going good. We is currently hopefully still have more waves of players coming in, and we'll see what the remainder of this calendar year will reflect on that aspect, But anyway, everybody right now in chat, thank you guys for being here. We have Austin Bird, Headbanger, Mr. Lawrence Wicks, B Hulk, and BMT. I hope you guys are all having a good weekend. I don't know if any of you are going to finish the event or maybe just pass. But right now, I actually want to just kind of add some attention into our Finish Plus event for next week. Now, again, my
topic.
Just going to be another poll, but just trying to see how many of you are going to finish, and we're going to just stick to the yes and no, just just specific answers. We'll give this one a good little 5-minute little run and see what you guys all say. Right now, the idea is that we will be getting the Yuchi Yumiya for that event, and I think it's fair to say that that's what we are going to have. We've already we've completed pretty much the entire collection of the golden relics, and that is the one relic that is missing. At first, based on the trend that was, it started with the golden relics as the finish plus reward, I guess you could say, was the Greek gods, and I had gotten my hopes up, to see a ZEUS getting reskilled and released. Unfortunately, it's gonna be fair to say that the most appropriate Titan to be featured in that event could be either Calvarax or Reaver, or both of them. And one of the biggest reasons, it's not because it's a golden bow, it's based on the third skill, which is an invoke skill. And again, I'm going to have to just assume there's some new listeners. That's why I'm taking this route of explanation. But pretty much the third skill is an invoke, or a skill that gets triggered by a summoned troop or called troop, which is either an Omega or a corrupted. And what happens is that where they spawn, it will be hit with a skeleton spell and a fireball. Reaver, and specifically Calvarax, empowered skeletons. That was pretty much the first major Titan that enhanced the spell, and it was an awesome run, especially during its time, which from the initial release was Calvarax was released during the original Panther meta. So that was the Titan to counter Kamathi and all those other crazy attackers, because the Panthers were just straight bullets, bro. They the charge damage, the flanking damage, and then the Panthers having such a fantastic selection of relics just made them really, really strong. And Calvarax was the one that was able to counter it. So anyway, yeah, I mean, if it's gonna happen, I'd love to see them both get a fantastic reskill. I would prefer them to both be attackers. I have no idea why one would be in a defender and the other would be attacker. And if that's the case, I would say that Reaver would have to be the attacker and Calvarax would be the defender. So it'll be interesting to see that 2x multiplier on defensive skills for Calvarax. And I think what really got that that whole, not random, but different approach of reskills was Cerberus. We saw how Cerberus went from being a full-on archer, Omega archer attacker, to now a spearman, Omega spearman, and corrupt spearman buffer or enhancer, or Titan. Can't think the words words are kind of escaping right now. But yeah, maybe we'll see a change. If not, then maybe we'll see 2 new attackers. But again, the invoke, because they're both skeletons and they empower void. Well, actually, no. Reaver does void, and Calvarax is ice focused. I just think that it would be an interesting take. But we have so far.
Let me tell you something though. I play tested both of them today, just to see, because it's been a while since I touched either of those Titans, and Calvarax is probably going to be the reskill, because he's got one-liners in his descriptions for his tactics, right? So I'm very confident that Calvarax is getting reskilled.
Nice.
Reaver, however, dude, I was kicking ass with Reaver today. He's still a pretty powerful attacker. Um, like I said, I play tested both of them today just to see, because I have them both in the 40s level, right? I didn't prestige either one of them. They're in their 40s, but they're still like Calvarax was so powerful, dude.
Yeah, he was.
I was like, wow, it's been a while since I played with him, and I was impressed, actually. And I had fun. And by the way, isn't this a game you're supposed to have fun?
Right.
Right? Right?
Definitely.
Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting.
I'm gonna end the poll in about 30 seconds. So anybody out there, just feel free to add your 2 cents, and anybody watching the replay, I hope that the polls show up in the live chat. But feel free to give your 2 cents or what you would have voted in the comments. And recently been getting a lot more comments, so I'm definitely gonna be making sure to answer and reply. So
Yeah.
But yeah, and let's see. B-Hulk and Austin Bird. B-Hulk says he's going to be saving his money. Austin Bird is going to definitely finish. B-Hulk is saying Cerberus is so disappointing. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should. I don't know what was missing, dude. I think maybe more help.
I ran into a couple.
Yeah, they the thing is
that kicked my butt. And,
Yeah. Give me 1 second. There's a bit of a delay on the internet. Hold on. Okay, cool. But what was I trying to get to? I think
Cerberus.
Starting back from Cerberus, but I think I feel it's fair to say that since Beowulf, they really emphasized acknowledging that a time waster is just as good as a green.
Yep.
Not many people will agree with it because they want to see green. However, the way this game is now structured with numbers and how fast you can perform, that makes a difference.
It does.
Makes a difference. Now the thing with Cerberus for me was here's the thing. Nexus should have been a Divine Titan, and she was made available to everybody, and that pretty much made it even Steven for anybody that actually went for the event and P-tender and got the mage staff. And that's unfortunate, because imagine if that would have happened with Lifespark. What if it was offered kind of evenly? Well, whatever great defender was around was going to get destroyed, because it makes sense. If this is the Divine Titan, it needs to be the apex attacker, right? Now, that's what's going on right now. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that Cerberus, because of Nexus, needs a high prestige and a couple specific relics to really chew up the damage. And I think his synergy really proves it, that the percentages on that synergy are really well for that the synergy relic. And that really is what really works for him, is ends up buying time. But I do find it interesting that the corrupted and everything else are doing damage. So it's not going to be an easy win if you do one mistake, because you could end up losing your entire army, which sets you back by a lot. But anyway, yeah. And then B-Hulk is also saying he needs corrupted archers or something. Exactly. Yes. He needs Omega. He needs corrupted archers to show up and do some damage. Those spearmen can really take a hit. It's pretty gnarly. So, but let's gonna end the poll real quick, and this one's a good one. We got eight votes, and it's 50-50. This is nice. First 50-50 split. Some say yes, and others are saying no. Everybody that the excuse me, everybody that participated, thank you very much for your feedback. Very, very appreciated. And I am also gonna start wrapping things up because it's getting late on my end, and I am sleepy as a motherfucker. But glad I was able to put together a little stream just to kind of get everybody some entertainment, something chill before the full on weekend.
Right. You know what? Friday night, man. And we brought up a lot of good topics today as well.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be the lead-in for some of that, and I think a lot of attention needs to be paid to the lower leagues.
Yeah.
Like you said, the incentive quality of, gameplay along as you go through the bottom or your way up. Well, when my team split 3 months ago, we went down to Gold League, started recruiting, picked up a few players. We're not going to Legends. Instead, we're going to absorb some junior players and maybe bump down a league or two and develop them, because that's the next generation of players in this game. And I think there's not enough. Everyone wants to be like, oh, I want to be in a top 50 team. Okay, fine. Go do that. If that's your thing, then go do that.
Right.
However, you're not. I've had really junior players like Castle level 10 saying, I want to be in a top 50 team. I'm like, that's not going to happen, dude. I'm just telling you reality.
Yep.
You need to develop first and then jump up there.
Yeah,
I would not suggest to any player, if you're, Castle level 20 or below, don't go to Legends. You're just going to get shredded. You're going to get totally shredded.
Totally.
They're going to look at you like, you're my daily. Boom. You're my daily. Boom. And you're going to be bald and bubbled the entire time. That is not a good experience.
It's not.
That's not fun.
No, it's not. Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So, putting it in perspective, look at the level of the player and where they should be in the leagues. Okay? So, like I said, potentially I'm going to take on 22 players, right? If I do that, I'm committed to those players because I'm the crown. I have a responsibility to caretake them. So I'm not going to put them in Legends, for Christ's sake. There'll be a shred fest up there.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
So the responsible thing to do is to bump down a couple of leagues, maybe even go down to Elite, and just let them develop for a month or so, or whatever time it takes. But I tell you what, remember month or two ago, the devs changed how the lower players can advance really fast. like they cut down the timers
Yes, you're right.
on.
Yeah, they did.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I thought that was a brilliant move on the developers, because now I can take in a level 10 player and expect him to develop quickly, so to speak.
Right.
And I think that's great, because now I can get a whole hodgepodge of people in my alliance. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, obviously. But it's faster than 1 year. We're talking months versus year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Previously, it would take a junior player a year to develop themselves, and blah blah blah. Now the devs sped up the timer, and I'm like, oh, this is not a bad thing to take in a junior player then, which perpetuates the game. It
does.
It perpetuates. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So my decision.
Yeah.
I had a decision to make. Do I want to go to Legends and move my team into a war team, etc., etc.? I was like, we're not ready for that yet. So this option came to me with the junior players, and I'm like, there are 22 souls that I can develop into good gameplay players. Why not step up to the challenge?
Nice.
And I got the backing of my team, because my first officer agrees with me. And I was like, oh, well, she speaks for the team, because she has the ear of the entire team. And I'm like, well, if she says okay, then that's a go for me.
There you go. Yeah, man, and that's a great thing.
But I keep you guys posted on our performance.
Yeah, we'll talk about it here and there.
Provided this merge comes into play, because mergers are very difficult, by the way, in this game.
Yeah.
Because teams do not want to lose their identity, and they want to have their tags on their name or their team. There's a lot of loyalty in that, and I'm like, I don't discount that at all.
Right.
Like some guy joins my team and he has a tag from another team. I'm like, you can keep it. I don't care. No skin off my back, right? He's proud. The point is, these players are proud, and they want to, pay homage to their former team, or they want to continue on in this team, whatever team they're in. And you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pride in this game. People are very proud to play.
Yeah, there is a lot of pride. Yeah, a lot of pride. And they acknowledge, and they like what where they came from, the support that they got, whatever help and and encouragement they got to to grow and stuff in the game. But the thing is, with this stream, I hope that it definitely reaches a lot of the newer players. I think that this was definitely a conversation that was well timed, especially during a phase where, again, like we've said before, the burnout is real. People are a little tired right now, and that's only fair to to
I'm struggling.
There's a lot
myself.
of struggle, so. And it's gonna be, it's just part of the game. This game requires a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of coordinating to be able to enjoy what they're offering and then also perform for your team. But what I do want to say is that everybody out there, I hope that you can definitely benefit from what Rage and Cajun is doing. And if you're out there looking for a team, then what I would say is feel free to join let me see. Give me 1 second. And join my server on Discord. Whatchamacallit? Hit me up. Talk to me if you need a team. We can definitely get you coordinated. It's it's all about branching out and getting to know people. These conversations are are part of the way this game is played. This is how it helps it stay afloat, stay alive, be relevant and stuff. We'll be back before the end of this event, so most likely probably like a late night thing for Sunday, or maybe early Sunday, but Sunday will be the day I will be streaming again for this event. Please, everybody listening, let's get on the House and Chance show for tomorrow on Saturday night. That'll be a good time. Everybody, we'll just have a good time, talk about the game, get reckless, and have a ball. Everybody on Discord, appreciate you guys being here. That's it for tonight, guys. We're gonna get some rest, charge up the batteries, and enjoy the weekend. Reggie Cajun, thank you for your time. Speakerface, she had Chance, we had Darth at 1.2. We have everybody in chat. Thank you all for your time. Please have a great and safe weekend, and I will see you guys on Sunday. All right, peace out.
Okay, mate.
Right on, bro.